Okay, Randy, little before and after from our session today, mate. So you can see, with the pressure map above, when you're standing on the mat, there's a little bit of there's a little bit of movement into the right foot to start with, but then you go back into your left foot, and then you get to about halfway back, and then really start loading up into that right foot. So the loading into the right foot is a little too late, right? We want that loading earlier. We want to load up into the right foot sort of during the takeaway to about there, right? And then focus more on settling back on the lead foot, whereas you get to about halfway back and then, or takeaway, and then start loading into your back foot, right? So you're at the top, and you can see there you're 83% into your trail foot at the top, right? Whereas at the top, we want to be starting to settle back under the lead foot, right? We want to be pushing down under the lead foot before that club actually finishes the backswing. It's the best way of thinking about it, right? So when you look at your action, you look at your lower body, although you kept your head in the box, your action, your hips are just swaying too far this way, right? Too much sway, too much lateral movement, too much swaying away from the target. So that's the first thing that we kind of changed, right? And the model that we used was Hunter Mahan. You look at his hips, head stays in the box. You look at his hips. Hips are moving forward as he's turning, right? So as he gets to the top, the space is in there next to his right pocket. You've got your space next to your left pocket, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing, put that little red line back for reference. The second thing, because we've moved our hips, swayed our hips too far to the right, we're not getting them forward enough, coming down. So therefore, coming down, we're not getting into, we're not achieving the right tilt with our spine. So as you come down to P6 here, position 6, your shoulders are very level, right? Because your hips have moved swayed back too far away from the target, there's not enough time to get them forward enough, right? So by that point there, your belt buckle's sort of here, whereas he's got his belt buckle more on that red line already. And because he's got his hips forward, he's now got that angle in his spine there, which produces that shoulder tilt, right? So you can see this shoulder tilt there, which helps get his handle forward at P6, which then helps get his handle forward at impact, whereas we know that you've got your handle, the handle and your hands just a little bit too far back at impact, right? So what we worked on was a little drill, keeping your hips forward, right? We want to keep your hips forward. That's better, look. So let's look at your old swing at the top there, and then let's look at your new swing at the top there. Now, I'm holding the iPad, so the camera's moving a little bit, but you can see there, like there's no swaying of the hips now. More straightening of that leg, more bending of this leg, nice hip turn, but you can see now the space is in here, right? So the hips have moved more forward on the backswing, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing was coming down. Now we've got our hips more forward, we should be able to get better right tilt. There you go. So look at the angle there, right? So hands more over the right thigh, hips more forward. There's the spine angle, which produces that tilt in the shoulders. More right tilt, right, because this shoulder's lower, this right shoulder's lower than the left one, right? So the 2 points is weight forward on the backswing, and then right tilt, excuse me, right tilt by the time you get down to P6.